Did you know a young boy drowned here? He was my son. And today is his birthday.
Congratulations on this. I mean, how much fun did you really have, Jared?
I had a great time. I mean, not only was I excited to be a part of the movie and the franchise and work with the actors and actresses that I worked with, but I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, and Austin, Texas, where we shot, is an hour drive north. And so my sister was graduating from UT Austin. Some of my best friends live in Austin. My parents and a lot of my family and friends live in San Antonio. My brother and my sister-in-law and my niece live in Dallas, which is 2.5 hours north. So it was just, I felt like I was home. It was the first time in, I guess I've been working for, 9 years, pretty solid. It's the first time I felt like I was home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
now, I'm
nice.
just wondering, has all your years on Supernatural prepared you to go head-to-head with Jason Voorhees?
Yes and no. I mean, it certainly helped. The fight scenes and sort of, like, there's a certain technique of being in something that's supposed to be scary. Because you don't want to play it up. You don't want to be like, what's in this room? I guess we should walk into this. You know what I mean? Because then the audience is going, oh, he's going to die, blah, blah, blah. Like, but to keep it real, and I hope I didn't mess up any episodes of Supernatural, but I sort of had a learning experience. Like, I sort of had a learning curve. Yeah, there was sort of a learning curve to me, kind of understanding the genre and getting used to it. And learning that really the best thing you can do is play it real and play it like, what would the character do? What would the character think? Why would he go in there? Because clearly you have to be oblivious to danger. You can't go like, it's dangerous, but let's go in here. It's be like, oh, weird, like a abandoned cabin. Like, let's go, like just an insatiable curiosity kind of thing. But I definitely do feel better prepared from Supernatural.
Yeah. Now, are you a horror fan?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so what was your first experience with the Friday the 13th series?
I watched it with my buddy the same night that I watched The Exorcist. And he lived, his backyard was essentially this place called Comanche Hill in San Antonio. Which is a big kind of, it's a park now, it's a state park, but there's also a hill with a little like silo on the top. And so we decided to watch and then to go, we were on like a sleepover, slumber party type thing. So I think we like made some popcorn and some nachos and watched the movie. Then we're like, yeah, let's go run out through the woods. And he knew the woods like the back of his hand. So I was like, whatever. So we grabbed flashlights and ran around and scared each other.
Yeah, typical teen stuff.
Typical teen stuff.
Yeah. Now, what was your very first experience meeting Derek, but meeting him as Jason?
My very first experience meeting Derek as Jason, actually when I first got to set, they'd already been shooting for 2 weeks, because I was coming off of Supernatural, and he was actually in full regalia. It was nighttime, and I showed up on set, and I mean, the woods were lit, and Daniel Pearl had done a great job of like making sure it was smoky and creepy and like shafts of light coming through the leaves and through the trees. I'm sort of looking around, Grip's over there talking and Gaff's over there talking and actors and actresses and hair and makeup, and then you see Jason, and he's big. Like, I'm not a small guy, and he's a big boy. Like, he's got shoulders like this and, just massive, big arms, and like just can move. Like, he's not like, oh, I'm big and I can't move. He's like big, but he moves like he's 5'6", like he just moves like he's made to be an athlete. And so it was definitely a time where I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I get to do something cool, so it was nice.
And he's such a nice guy. So how hard was
Amazing
it to be scared of this guy?
Well, I think, I actually talked about this earlier, I think if Derek had been in the movie without a mask, I think it would have been tough, because he's such a nice guy. But with the mask and with the outfit and with the prosthetic head and everything that came along with it and the machete, and also his physicality, his understanding of kind of fleshing out a character, whether you see the face or not, it was very easy to be scared of him, but it was definitely nice to know that he was a nice guy and not really going to hurt me.
Yeah, the bonding on this set must have been awesome. What a great cast.
Yeah, really cool, huh? Yeah. I like that. They did in my opinion, myself not included, I think they did a perfect job casting the movie. I mean, everybody's like cool and young and hip and exciting, and we'd all done our share of work, but no one was like already associated with something where it was like, oh, that's just blah, 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 or that's just blah, blah, blah. Like, we all could, I think the audience will be able to kind of think of us all as our character, which is nice.
Yeah. What do you think is the most important element that's needed in a horror film to just make it so scary?
Villain. I think you need a villain. And obviously Friday the 13th has gone on and on and on because of Jason Voorhees. And if you don't, I mean, if the villain's cheesy and if you're like, oh, whatever, like, you know, a blob or something, it's like, oh, I'll run away from the blob, or, you know, like, you think of, trying to think of, like, failed, or just a monster, like some generic monster. It's like, oh, I've seen monsters, they'll get killed somehow. But with Jason, you're like, I don't know, is he immortal? What is he after? How does he know the woods so well? How is he getting around? How is he there when he was just over there? So something where you don't have to suspend your belief so much that it's like, oh, well, I guess there's no way to escape him. There's got to be some hope of escaping.
Yeah.
If you don't think there's any chance of escaping, you're like, okay, you're gonna die. It's not scary. Yeah. But if you're like, oh, just run faster. Oh God, you know, if you kind of get your hopes up that they're gonna get away and that they're gonna escape, then it's all the more scarier when they don't.
Yeah. Quickly, favorite kill in the movie?
The sheriff, the police officer, fire poker through the eye.
Yeah, that was Richard Burke. That was a good one.
I love Richard Burke.
Yeah.
It was my second time I've worked with him. He played my father in a movie last year.
Yeah.
But he's awesome and spent a lot of time in prosthetics and was just a champ and had an awesome kill.
Yeah, you guys were all fantastic in this. Congratulations. It's really a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.